This is my 1998 Lexus es300, and I absolutely hate this car. Now, you're probably wondering, why do you hate this car? It's nice, it's clean, it's a Lexus. I mean, why would you hate it? This is a car everybody would want to drive, right? Correct? Well, no, not really. Not right, not correct. Don't buy into the hype. This car sucks ass. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why is that? And you would be fair to think that, because that's why I'm making this video, to try to explain in my own words. Now, I guess the whole conundrum can be kind of summed up like this. I remember when I was first looking at this car, I was doing some research on the internet, looking at some videos, trying to figure out, well, is this a nice car? Anywhere you look, this car is very highly rated. People say it's one of the most reliable cars on existence. You never see them broken down on the side of the road. And for the most part, it just seems like everybody who has one likes it and they keep it. Now, there was this one video, though, that I did see where it's a kid and he's driving a car just like this, and he's taking it through a sand pit and doing donuts in it and just basically tearing the hell out of suspension. And the comments were your usual, well, why would you do that to such a perfect car, and you don't deserve such a car? And the kid would respond, well, I absolutely hate this car. And I remember thinking, well, man, why would this kid absolutely hate this car? Well, now I know. I've been driving this car for the past 2 months, and I absolutely hate this car. Let me explain why. First of all, let me go ahead and get in so you can see the interior. Now, as you can see, it's very clean on the inside. It's your typical non-offensive brown and tan. And if there was a word to sum up this car, that would be it, non-offensive. Hang on, let me open this up right here. The whole car is non-offensive. It's almost the ultimate non-conformist vehicle. It's a light brown tan, not too light, not too dark. It's almost as if somebody at Lexus put extra thought into choosing the perfect, the perfect pigment to cause the least offensiveness. And that actually offends me, because I like my cars to be a little bit out there. I like them to make a statement. But you see it sit in, and then that's what you realize about this car. It makes absolutely no statement. It says absolutely nothing about the driver. Now, maybe I'm a little bit different. Maybe if I did need a vehicle that would just politely take me from point A to point B, sit gas while doing it, and say absolutely nothing to anybody, then this would be it. But in the 5 seconds of my existence when I am in traffic, I do actually care what I'm driving. I look around, I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, everything is just the same puke brown color. Not only that, there's just nothing there. Okay, fair enough, though. If I did need a car to take me somewhere politely, then yes, I guess this would work. But I'm not that type of guy yet. I actually like my cars to have a little bit of pizzazz in them. And I guess if that was the ultimate complaint against this car, it's bland. You actually feel your existence sucking away from you as you drive it, because the car sucks that bad. Well, let me go ahead and get into detail why it sucks. First of all, the interior is very well put together, which is something I'm not used to a lot of cars. And I'm actually amazed with this one, because it seems like the previous owners never really did a lot of sun protection, or they never really cared to put a lot of the UV protection on it. So the door panels right here is really stiff, but on the back seats it's still plush, where the tint has really protected it, and it's in the back seats. As you can see, the little airbag guard right here, you know, it's still kind of stretched over the airbag itself, where it's kind of shrunk in the sun. But for the most part, everything still looks good. Now, I guess the only better part about it would be the radio. Let me go ahead and start the car. You take your key, you put it in, and the engine kind of settles, usually cranks over on the first, second, or third turn of the starter. It settles into this little rhythmic hum, and it's very nice. It sits there. It's going to warm up for a little bit. The gauges kind of light up. The stalks and everything on the steering wheel kind of click over with this type of nice precision that I really don't find in a lot of your GM vehicles. You know, usually like in a lot of your GM vehicles, it has a stalky clump where it feels like you're breaking it every time you turn it, but on this one, it's just nice and smooth. I guess one of the selling points about this car is it does have a nice radio. I guess so, because there's absolutely nothing else in this car that's helping you. You hit the radio, and then you turn it on. It's got a little 6-disc CD changer. You hit AM, FM, and it bumps pretty decent. Let me see if I can find a good radio. And while I'm searching for this, I'll continue on. But it does have a nice radio. It does bump pretty decently. And unfortunately, that's about the only thing about this car. Everything about it sucks. The seats are paper thin. The door closes with the authority of a paper sack. Just listen to this. I mean, that's it. You feel like you're gonna die. You might as well be in a damn motorcycle. I mean, it's just there's no safety there whatsoever. Here we go, the radio. Let me see. Here's a sound test real quick. Oh, not that.
Hey, yo, man, you remember that shit Easy did a while back? Motherfucker said it wasn't gonna work.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, the stupid shit, man.
No.
Hey, yo, Easy. Hey, man, we should come off the piano for a minute, man, and bust this crazy shit.
Woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I gotta get drunk before the day begins.
So anyway, the radio works pretty well. Now the engine settles into this nice little... As you can see, that's what I was really surprised about. It starts up well, it runs really well. If you step on the accelerator pedal, the needles like to jump up into the red line pretty quickly. So there's really not a whole lot of bad I can say about the engine. Now if you read the reviews, a lot of people harp on the engine because they say it's gutless, it doesn't have a whole lot of power, this and that. But for the most part, I find that it does its job very well for a conformist car. It quietly and sedately propels you through traffic in the least non-offensive manner possible. Now, if there's one last gripe I have about this car, it's just that if they are the most reliable cars on the planet, that's only because everything you can buy from them is so fucking expensive. Okay, here's my point. When I started driving this, I noticed the shocks were a bit worn. The car has about 112,000 miles on it, which is good, maybe about 119 now. I've been driving the hell out of it for the past month and a half. I noticed the suspension is getting a little bit worn. So, me thinking, well, hey, I can just go to AutoZone or O'Reilly, just buy some new shocks for it, put it on, and keep on rolling. I had a 1995 Buick that I was able to do that to, and I was able to put new shocks on it for a total cost of $70. This one, though, you go to O'Reilly or AutoZone, and the shocks are $70 a piece. So just right off the bat, you're looking at over $400 just to put fucking shocks on the car, and that's if you just do your own labor. But they don't recommend just you doing the shock. They want you to replace the strut and the strut mounts while you're at it. Theoretically, but we really recommend using Lexus OEM. So you try to use Lexus OEM, and suddenly the cost shoots from $400 to a whopping $1,200 because your estimated cost is $300 per wheel for a car. That's basically a Toyota from what people tell me, which makes me weep for Toyota drivers who think they're driving an economy car because it's nothing but. Surprise, people. Maybe I'm a little, how should I put this, jaded from driving domestic vehicles all my life. But $1,200 for suspension is not a normal price to be paying. $300 alternators, aftermarket, maybe factory, yes. But $300 or $400 for alternators just for this car, that's not reasonable. I mean, so eventually, I guess what happens is this isn't really a collector's car. This isn't really a car in general. If I had to sum up this car, I'd say it's more like an appliance. It's like a Maytag. You drive it, it has its built-in lifespan, and then it's going to break down, and then you're going to get rid of it, and then you're going to drive another Lexus. Because everything that breaks down on this car, if it's minor enough not to affect drivability, then you don't fix it because it's too expensive to really justify getting it fixed. Eventually, everything just starts breaking down. You never really fix it, and then you just have a car that you trade in and you get another Lexus. And somebody's always going to be in line to buy this car because somewhere along the lines they heard that Lexus makes really good cars. Well, they don't. This car is shitty. And it's always shitty, and I'd rather drive my Buick. That's why I hate my Lexus ES300.